tinha paz e não tinha vida. Fizesse cor num barco sem saída. Descobri você, descobri que a vida pode começar num beco sem saída.
E agora vou
Pela nova estrada, junto com você, na mansão dourada.
E agora vou
Pela nova estrada, junto com você,
Grupo dos Travessos
pra mansão dourada.
This is about children just like me.
Children who suffered in the past. Children who wandered on the streets searching for a destiny. The destination they longed for.
Late one night, it was as if a great voice and light stirred awake in our minds and showed us the way to what we were seeking.
Following a voice in our thoughts, we came to this place.
We found it was what we had been looking for.
And soon afterwards, we made a serious decision. A decision to be somebody, to learn and to know how to love others.
There are more people living in absolute poverty in Brazil than in any other industrialized country in the world. Many of the country's poorest people live in the slums of the big cities, better known as favelas, where the structure of the family is often torn apart, leaving many children to fend for themselves on the street.
I used to live on the streets, and I started to get myself into a lot of trouble.
Some are abandoned because of violence within the family, or because of a broken family. Without structure, too many young boys spend their childhood growing up in prison.
When I was about 9 years old, I was in prison in Rio because I committed a robbery with a handgun.
These are the backgrounds of the children, whose real names are not being used to ensure their safety, who wind up at Hope Unlimited City of Youth, some with stories so painful they find it hard to describe what life was like before they came to Hope. When Natasha was 9, she was rescued from her mother, who could no longer take care of her. At the cemetery in Campinas, a groundskeeper remembered Natasha and her mother because this cemetery was their home for 6 years. This is where she used to roam through the cemetery during the day. And at night, she and her mother slept here, inside this crypt, on stone shelves that will one day be sealed with coffins. She and her mother would eat whatever remained from the foods offered to the gods in black magic rituals, after checking to make sure the needles used in voodoo ceremonies were removed. On any given day in Brazil, you'll find children in the street begging for money. It's estimated 10 million children live on the streets of Brazil. Most of them have no place but the streets to spend the night. And because their age gives them immunity from prosecution, many are taken advantage of by adults who force them to sell trinkets and use them for petty crimes. City officials in Campinas say the situation is desperate.
The kid is a victim of society, abandoned. And when he gets older, he enters the crime world and thinks he can take revenge on society.
At the office of the city's only juvenile judge, the cases of thousands of children lie in stacks and stacks and stacks. Judge Alberto Anderson says they are always looking for better ways to deal with the city's runaway, abandoned, and delinquent children. He's watched Hope at work in Campinas for years and says their success is known all around Brazil.
It's not only a shelter or temporary home. Above all, Hope cares for the kids in a really special way, preparing them for the future.
For the past 10 years, Hope Unlimited has worked with Brazil's unwanted children, forgotten, abused, living in the street. Hope Unlimited's president, Philip Smith, follows in the footsteps of his father, Hope's founder, the late Reverend Jack Smith. 30 years ago, Grandpa Jack, as the children called him, started a residential school for homeless children in Ethiopia. That project today cares for over 4,000 children and is completely run by the Ethiopian community.
Ever since I got out of high school, I dreamed about one day being involved in the kind of work my dad was.
While the City of Youth may be a child's first safe place, with a real bed, running hot water, a place to keep their clothes, a kitchen to cook in, an opportunity for spiritual grounding, this is much more than a rescue shelter.
The whole point of Hope Unlimited is not how comfortable we can make, a youngster today or how happy they are now, but how well they'll be doing 10 or 20 years after they leave the project.
To achieve that, technical training is a critical element of the Hope experience. Working in the auto body course prepares the students for jobs in automotive body shops. In the metalwork and welding shop, students learn the techniques to make metal furniture. These are just a few of the samples of the products students are constructing in woodworking class. And in graphic design, the students use their artistic skills to create designs that they transfer to t-shirts and posters. The training, in addition to the regular schooling that keeps pace with their abilities, prepares them for a life beyond the City of Youth.